Hello and welcome to my unboxing of the BenQ XL2420T. I've been wanting to get this monitor for quite a long time, and I finally decided today that I should get it, so I went out and bought it. I'm going to start off here by saying that this is probably the best gaming monitor on the market right now. I spent a lot of time researching and looking up reviews and such, and everyone said that this monitor was really great. So the contents of the box, you have the stand. It's a two-piece stand, but it is a very good stand because you get the full height adjust, the pivot, the swivel, all of that stuff, and it's just a very good stand that most lower-end monitors do not include. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is probably the best gaming monitor, but if you're on a budget, you probably will benefit more from buying a cheaper monitor. You would benefit most from this monitor if you have a powerful PC that can push over 60 frames per second on high settings. This right here is actually a dust cover, which is interesting. I've never seen that before. The included cables, you have a USB. It has a USB hub. There's two on the side and one on the back. You have a standard power cable. It comes with a VGA cable. And next is, I believe, a dual link DVI, which is what you will need to use if you want to run the monitor at 120 Hz, unless of course you have the DisplayPort, which is not included. This is the S switch that allows you to easily access the on-screen display, which is it's quite convenient, but I didn't really have any problems with the on-screen display buttons. They're kind of like touch sensitive, but they actually worked, unlike the ones on a lot of Samsungs. So here we have the monitor itself, which was quite well packaged. Mine wasn't scratched at all, had no dead pixels, and worked perfectly, which is what you expect when you buy a very expensive gaming monitor. Now, one feature I find that most monitors are missing is a height adjust. This is a feature that I really wish a lot of my other monitors have had. But this is my first monitor with height adjust, and I really enjoy it. It is quite convenient. You can also pivot, so you could do portrait mode if you wanted to. It also makes it very easy to access the inputs. It also swivels, I believe, 45 degrees in each direction, tilts 5 degrees down, and I believe 15 degrees back. This is also kind of convenient. There's a hook on the back for your headset, so you can put your headset there. I actually tried this once I put it on my desk, and it didn't really work out well. I have a wired headset, and there was nowhere for the wires to go when it wasn't in use, so the wires were just kind of like hanging on my desk. So that didn't work out well for me. Just showing again, it's a very clean monitor, not too flashy, but does still look very nice. Now I'll just show you quickly the inputs here. You have a USB, the USB A to B to connect to your computer, two HDMIs, the DVI dual link, a VGA, a DisplayPort, and that last small one was for the little switch thing that they gave you. It also has a built-in power supply, so you can just use a standard power cable. On the left side of the monitor, when you're looking at it, it has two USB inputs and a headphone jack, which is quite convenient. The monitor has a very thin bezel, which is great if you're trying to do Eyefinity or surround vision, trying to play multiple games. It's also fairly stable. It wobbles a little bit because it does pivot, but the stand is pretty stable. Not really any risk of falling over. The on-screen display offers a variety of options, and it's quite easy to access. It has these touch-sensitive buttons that actually work when you touch them. These are the settings I used. I found them from some website, which I'll put a link to in the description. But I believe it's just on standard RGB mode, and there's quite a long list of presets, which are apparently all bad according to review websites that have technology to measure like color accuracy and that sort of thing. They all say the presets are terrible, and I just use their presets, which shouldn't be exactly the same, but I just use them anyways. You can also set what the buttons on the K-switch do. You can control the OSD with the K-switch, which is what I'm doing now. I believe it's called the K-switch at least. There's quite a long list of options. HDMI auto switch should automatically switch you to HDMI when you turn on an HDMI device. In a moment I will show you the AMA and the instant on feature. The AMA is the overdrive feature, which makes the pixels more responsive, and the instant mode reduces input lag, so you get lower input lag, which is actually quite good. What you're probably interested in is its gaming performance, so I put on Modern Warfare 2, changed the screen refresh rate to 120 Hz, turned off vertical sync so I could get the max amount of frames, and I started up Modern Warfare 2. Now I have Fraps running in the top right hand corner just to show what frame rate it's getting. Modern Warfare 2 is capped at 90, 91, something like that. You used to be able to remove the cap in COD, but when they removed the console, you can no longer enter the code to remove the frame rate. So you can see I'm running at 90 frames per second, and it definitely looks a lot smoother than 60 frames per second. I know a lot of people try to claim you can only see like 60 frames per second, and then other people get angry when people say that you can only see a specific frame rate or something like that. I feel it makes a difference. A lot of people who have played on 120 Hz monitors feel it makes a difference, and I'm just going to stick with that. Now, I guess I'd better support my claim that this is the best gaming monitor. So there's a few reasons why this is. When you're looking for a gaming monitor, there's a few things that you're looking for specifically. That would be response time. You want to have a fast response time. You want to have a low input lag, and the 120 Hz definitely helps if you play on PC. Now, when you're considering response time, you want to look for a monitor that has around a 2 millisecond gray to gray response time or a 5 millisecond black to white response time, because apparently the gray to gray doesn't really tell you all that much about its actual responsiveness. Now, prad.d, which is I believe like a Dutch or German or some sort of website that tests monitors and does a very good job of it, tested the response time of this monitor, and it got 2.2 milliseconds gray to gray and 3 milliseconds black to white. So I'm assuming they did their test right, and if they did, that's a pretty good score there. Now, in terms of input lag, you generally want less than 1 frame of input lag, which is around 16 milliseconds. You get that from 1,000 milliseconds divided by 60 frames per second to get around 16.667 milliseconds. You want to have less than 1 frame. According to prad.d, this monitor has 8 milliseconds of input lag when on 60 Hz and around 5 milliseconds of input lag on 120 Hz. So when you're running 120 Hz and you have around 8 milliseconds is a frame, you're still less than 1 frame, so you should not be able to tell any input lag at all. So those people who played on CRTs or whatever, you won't really notice a huge difference here. This monitor is also 3D ready, so if you spend the 100 or 150 on the NVIDIA 3D Vision kit with the glasses, you can play games in 3D if you so desire. Personally, I'm not a big fan of 3D, so I got it just for the 120 Hz and the other features. So to sum things up, the BenQ XL2420T is the best gaming monitor currently on the market because it has a very fast response time due to its AMA overdrive feature. It has a very low input lag due to its instant mode. It has a great picture quality for a TN panel, obviously, and IPS is going to be a bit better. Has good viewing angles for a TN. I was actually quite surprised with that. They're not all that bad. It has a very adjustable stand, which is quite convenient. It supports 120 Hz, so you can play games up to 120 frames per second for a much smoother gaming experience with less input lag, and you don't have to worry about screen tearing or using vertical sync, which adds input lag. And it also has a wide array of connection options, which is also very good if you have multiple devices. And that is all for my BenQ XL2420T unboxing and review. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and favorite. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.